morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dreams Unveiled with your hosts, Melissa Salazar and Daun Whittaker. And before we get started, a couple of things. We are definitely in fall here. The weather is okay, but it's getting kind of rainy, and we're in central New York, and our 85-degree days are pretty much over. I think we're done for the year.
Yeah, I think we're going to get 70s this week, and then next week, or at the end of this week, we're getting 60s, and next week's all going to be 60s.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
Glad I'm going on a cruise soon.
Oh, lucky duck.
I know, very. The other thing I wanted to share with all of you that are watching is we have hit 995 subscribers.
Woo!
So that is so remarkable. I'm really humbled by that. I didn't know what to expect when we started this. I'm not a video person. I don't take selfies.
I force her.
Melissa takes my pictures for my book and things like that. And it is quite a production for her to even get a picture that I'm okay with because I can't relax enough to.
Right. I've had to teach her how to smile. Your little really fake smile. So I'm glad, even with all of the mishaps and nuances, that that you're watching this and are getting something out of it. It means an awful lot to us. I'm glad the content is useful, because it is to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. It really means an awful lot. I think everyone really wants to, I think they like the inside of people's minds and their dream world.
I do. Well, obviously, I do this for a living, so I absolutely agree with that. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, but keep liking and subscribing and share our videos with all your friends and family.
That's right, and even more so if you have friends and family that say, I have a dream I want to share with her. Yeah. You could email it to me, dreams@daunw.com. So it's dreams@daunw.com, but I'm DAUN, not DAWN. DAUN.com. And you can either go to the website and go to the Dreams Unveiled tab, and you could fill out a PDF fillable form and email it, or you could just send me the dream in as much detail as you can give me. And in doing so, please include relevant information about what's going on in your day today. If you don't have, I'll call you. The reality is I will get a hold of you. Yeah. So that is it. But we're going to get going and share this dream. And this dream is one of those things that really shows how important dreams are.
Yeah, even the smallest detail really means a lot. That's
right. The individual that submitted this dream, his name is Bruce. He's from Central New York. The fascinating thing is he was aware that it was not the full dream. He couldn't remember the full dream. It was just a little piece he could remember. But he also recognized that it was relevant.
Right, for him to remember, that dream.
Yeah.
And to tell you. So obviously something was going on.
That's right. And it really was relevant to what was going on in his life. So with no further ado, I didn't even write this one down. Yeah. Because it was relayed to me, and that's how little of it there is.
Yeah.
So the whole dream is that he is standing, he is walking, and he has a black hoodie, and he loves the black hoodie. It's very comfortable. That's his black hoodie. And it's covered in dog hair. It's just profoundly covered in dog hair. That's the dream.
That's it.
That is the whole dream.
That's a little flash. And what do you remember?
And this dream unlocks so much. And so I started asking questions and gathering information.
Yeah.
And sometimes people give me enough information. I need very little. And sometimes it's really drawing them out. And I think that happens because people can't tell that there's meaning in the dream or what it correlates to. That's really a big thing. So here's a story about Bruce. Bruce lives alone, and he's in his mid to late 30s.
So bachelor pad?
Well, he's got a beautiful home. This is what he describes. He has been living by himself for so long enough that he's gotten pretty rigid. He likes things the way that they are. I did share with him. I said, that there is some underlying anxiety there, which is usually a thing. We like to control things when we have anxiety. Yeah. It gives us an artificial sense of keeping that anxiety away. He is somewhat rigid. He recognizes that. He's okay with that. It's part of who he is. There's nothing wrong with it.
He's living alone, right?
Yeah.
So he can have it however he likes.
Well, a cousin, Teresa, has moved back to town. And he loves his cousin. He's probably the only person out of all the family here that's her age. So she's really clingy and spending a lot of time hanging out with him and stuff. And at first he was so grateful for the company and they were having fun together. Not that they're not. He loves her deeply. It's not that.
Yeah.
But she doesn't share her desire for, she doesn't have the same kind of respect for his home and his property that he does. And it's not that she's being disrespectful. She just organizes and does things differently.
Yeah.
The other big thing is she has these 2 dogs. And the thing with the 2 dogs is that, first of all, he's a dog lover. He loves dogs. The problem with the 2 dogs is that they're pretty unruly. They're fun. They're joyful. But he doesn't want all of the dog hair everywhere and climbing on the furniture and a little destructive and all of that. It really gives him a lot of anxiety, and it's really difficult, to the point where he is really trying to devise now ways to hang out with her
outside of the home.
Yeah, and to really starting to create different boundaries now, even though he loves her and loves talking to her, loves hanging out with her, really enjoys his time with her. And so this dream is a reflection
of what's going on.
Yeah, that he has these 2 let's talk about the hoodie. So hoodies typically represent comfort, protection, right? They're overwear, safety.
Like a sense of home.
Yep, hiding. It's a way to hide things that you don't want others to see. I mean, in a dream, it could represent that. And it could be a little bit, because he definitely has some anxiety, and that's really showing through. So here's this hoodie that is a great source of comfort to him, and it's covered in dog hair, which is a really interesting aspect.
Yeah, because dog hair means something, right?
Means a number of things.
Yeah. I know one is loyalty, right?
Yep,
loyalty.
Absolutely. Sometimes, if you think about this, because this dog hair represents his cousin Teresa, and with the dogs, it's really about Teresa, because the dogs are part of that package.
Yeah.
So the loyalty isn't really so much for the dog. This cousin is very loyal, really loves him, starting new here, new chapter in her life, but she's very, I don't want to say clingy, but she has this expectation that when he has spare time, when there's time, they're hanging out together.
Well, she just moved there, so I'm sure she's asking him to help her move. Maybe they're doing dinners. Maybe it's just kind of interrupting his day-to-day.
She's already moved in because she's been here for probably about 5 or 6 months.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't clarify that.
Sorry.
I had the info.
Yeah.
I didn't share. But she wants to do things with people and hang out. And I think it's really easy because she's by herself. And so, a lot of their friends probably are married, have children. They're in a very different phase of their life.
Yeah.
So he would be a natural, safe companion for her.
Right. Your cousins, you've been together probably for your whole life, and you move back in and you're like, we're back together again,
And he really loves her and stuff, but he very much, there are things he needs to do. Like he has a boat and he's got to get it winterized.
Right.
And take care of things around his house. Like she has an apartment, but he's got a large house and land, and he's got to have everything taken care of. Start winterizing and getting things ready for the change in weather. And he's having a hard time because he's giving her so much time that he's getting behind on the things he really feels he needs to do. And it's giving him anxiety. Now, on a good side of this, when you have that kind of anxiety, having somebody challenge that is not a bad thing, because the primary coping strategy for anxiety is avoidance. And it seems to me that his life is a bit avoidant of relationship. I got the impression, although we didn't really discuss it, but I did get the impression that he has had a couple of relationships that didn't go so well. Really kind of made him feel like maybe I'm not meant to be with somebody, which I never believe that for anybody, just so you know.
Your love's out there.
That's right. So I think that is something that
It's like pushing his boundaries.
that's right. And but it sounds like his boundaries need to be pushed a little.
Yeah.
And so in the fur on the hoodie is really a dichotomy of peace, comfort. I have this very loyal companion who's hanging out with me a lot, and I love this person. I care for this person, but I can't deal with the dogs. I can't deal with her not respecting that everything has a place and things need to be here, or that I have to do all of these activities and things and I'm getting behind, so now I'm getting anxious.
Right.
So I think, first of all, this is really good for him. I think he needs that. When you have anxiety and you avoid what gives you anxiety, guess what happens? Your anxiety gets worse. It grows. I call it mind cancer.
Yeah.
Anxiety will grow. This is, I would say, out of anything I counsel, anxiety is the biggest thing that I counsel. And I think that's a really important thing to know with dreams, because the biggest feeling, because that amygdala is alive and well, that emotional part of your brain is functioning. Mm-hmm. The most prevalent emotion in a dream is our anxious thoughts, is anxiety.
Yeah. Once you mentioned anxiety as something about being prepared. So
anxiety, when it's just being used for what it's supposed to, if you're going on a job interview, for instance, mm-hmm. and you have anxiety about it, then you can say, okay, I'm nervous, I'm uncomfortable about this, I need to prepare for this.
Yes.
And but that's where the anxiety needs to stop. I think in our culture, anxiety has grown to really be a mind cancer. We are so culturally embracing of it, almost accepting of it, and we allow avoidance and actually work to achieve avoidance of things that make us anxious. And when we do that, that anxiety grows. If you really think about, if you have any kind of anxiety, and if you've noticed that in the last 5 or 10 years, that anxiety is growing to other things that you've never had anxiety about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You may have had anxiety about taking tests at one point. Now you're having anxiety about interviewing people or going on trips, things that seem unrelated.
Yeah.
It's because the more you avoid, that anxiety really starts to take over. That anxiety is now ruler of your world, not you. It's really a big thing. So I really think this is stretching him, and it's kind of forcing him to deal with the things that help him to avoid his anxiety.
Right.
So I don't think that's bad. I think what needs to happen, though, is some balance in it.
For sure. I definitely feel like some balance, maybe, he should have a conversation with her, about, maybe we can do something like this, and this day. And then during these days, is booked, just getting that on the same page type of thing.
I absolutely agree with that. I really think that's going to be necessary. It may result in multiple conversations, and it may hurt feelings.
Yeah.
I think they were really young when they were really hanging out. And so we didn't have the same boundaries when we're young.
Right. And I mean, also people grow, so not saying that they grew apart, but, they both grow into their own person.
That's right. So I think that, there's a lot to be gained. So when he got a hold of me, it was because he recognized that this was relevant because of the dog hair.
Right.
To the situation that he's going through.
Yeah.
And it's great because it does, I think, point him to a need to really find some balance and find some comfort, but recognize that maybe he's holding on to things way too tight.
Yeah.
And he needs to let go. But that's a process, but it does probably need to happen. I would say so. If there are areas in your life where you're so rigid, and I've had my share of issues with anxiety, and I certainly have had those kind of things.
Yeah.
Honestly,
everyone likes their personal space, and sometimes they like it how exactly they want it,
Absolutely. But when you're kind of out of your mind, when it gets disturbed, then sometimes it's okay to get that little bit of a push. Mm-hmm. But you have to do it gently. This is not an overnight fix, but it may be revealing to him. And I think after we talked, that it really was revealing to him that he doesn't want to be overrun by somebody, and he really does have all these responsibilities. None of that is untrue.
Yeah.
But he really needs to find a more alpha brainwave state and kind of chill a little and be okay and recognize that's a first world problem and this is okay and relationships are awesome and I need to have people I love around me.
Right. No one wants to be alone forever.
No, and we're not designed to be alone.
Right.
So that was a good
one.
That was like second. I didn't have to write it down. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget any part of the dream.
Nope. Yeah, it was pretty much all you sent me.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So thank you very much for joining us today. And if you have a dream, please send it to me, DAUN, dreams@daunw.com, which is dreams@dawnw.com with a U, not a W. I need to do like with a U, not a W. I can't even do that gracefully.
Yeah.
So that would be awesome. And I hope you have a great day. And I hope you have sweet dreams tonight.
Like and subscribe.
See you next time.
See ya.